Why why is the mic stand just is all in the shot, but that's okay. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Lewis Talks Movies podcast. You know, it's been so long that I almost forgot the name. That's how long it's been. And I thought I was going to be a lot more consistent at doing this, but you know what? I decided today we're going to record a podcast episode and then maybe we'll do another one in about 2 months. But yes, I appreciate you all for listening. And what we're going to talk about today, movies. That's really all it is. And I just want to kind of go through my recent watches and probably discuss a little bit about One Battle After Another because it's my new number one film of the year, movie of the year in my 2025 ranking, which I didn't think, I didn't think when the trailer dropped that it would become my number one movie because this bad boy right here, Sinners, was just like an undeniable movie. It still is. It's still an amazing movie. And of course, we can talk about how you can like two movies at once. I know that's like a novel concept. Uh, Especially when you talk movies online, it feels like you can only like one movie at a time. But I promise you that you can like multiple movies. So let's just talk about One Battle After Another. Let's talk about the updated 2025 ranking. Let's also kind of go through our plans for October. A lot of people doing like different challenges. What are my plans? We'll just kind of talk about that. So this is a Yap Fest, as it always is. All right, let's start with, I guess, let's not bury the lead. One Battle After Another. I mean, how is everyone feeling about that movie? I'll tell you how I feel. I think it's a phenomenal movie. I have it at 5 stars. I've seen it 3 times, twice in IMAX, one in standard, still hits in standard. I don't live in a place where I can watch it in VistaVision or, I can watch it in 70 millimeter IMAX if I drive to Dallas, which is about like a 4 hour drive, which isn't like too bad if you make a day out of it. Where I'm at right now, like I've seen it 3 times. I'm lucky enough to see it in IMAX twice. I'm okay. I know it would be like an amazing experience to watch it in 70 millimeter, but I'm okay with where I'm at right now. But I guess I'll explain like why I love One Battle After Another so much. And it's because it's in the same vein to me as There Will Be Blood, which is my favorite Paul Thomas Anderson movie, in the sense that I feel both movies are timeless and timely. I mean, in the sense that I've explained this before, but There Will Be Blood has this figure, this business tycoon of Daniel Plainview, played by Daniel Day-Lewis, which is arguably the best performance in a movie ever, or the best performance in a movie that I've seen. It's always like Denzel and Malcolm X and Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood. But There Will Be Blood, we have this Daniel Plainview character represents a lot of like business elite or political figures that we see who come in, kind of crush anyone that they deem below them, take over their land, and use it for profit. So it's kind of like we've seen that in the past before. We see it now. We will continue to see it. That's why I feel like that movie is timeless. And then, um, you know, in the sense that there's also this like emotional relationship between Daniel Plainview and his son, like his family. So that's what brings like an what am I trying to say? Like beat to the movie. It gives it like a little bit of an extra layer, which is what makes There Will Be Blood so effective to me. I mean, it looks beautiful. It's got some great like set pieces of the Derek blowing up scene. It's really good. Like it's my favorite PTA. It's still my favorite PTA even after One Battle After Another released. And but One Battle After Another also feels like timeless and timely. It's a story about this revolutionary group. They're trying to make change in the world. It's a story about previous generations trying to make that change and what they leave behind for the next generation and how the next generation is going to carry that torch in the midst of all of this wrong that's happening in the world. It's One Battle After Another. This is like a movie that Paul Thomas Anderson has been working on for about 20 years. So it was resonant 20 years ago, still resonant today. And it will probably in some form be resident in the future. And that's what makes One Battle After Another so good. Also, every performance is just amazing. You can you can pick a favorite performance, and I would not argue with you on really any of them. You know, you could say Leo's your favorite performance. Chase Infinity, Tiana Taylor. You could say Sean Penn. You can say Benicio del Toro. Like, you can say all of these people, Regina Hall. Like, you could say all of these people, and I would not blame you for your take. Like, it's there. It's a just well cast movie. It's really amazing. And One Battle After Another, I guess, between all of these highs that it has of the car chase scene, the bank robbery scene with the chase at the opening, like 30 to 40 minutes, like, it's really special. I think this is a special movie. And this is kind of where we talk about, like, oh, now you have One Battle After Another, in finally something is like challenging Sinners as like the best movie of the year. And some people are taking it like, if you like One Battle After Another, that means you don't like Sinners. And it's such a weird way to kind of look at movies, because it's in that conversation of like pancakes or waffles, and you're like, well, I like pancakes, and you're like, so you hate waffles. It's literally internet discourse that you see for so many other topics, for just, everyday things, now bleeding into like movie conversation, and it's not productive. Like, you can like two movies at one time. You can recognize that, these movies are great, they're fantastic. I will say it's a great year for movies in 2025, and not a lot of, some people will disagree with that. So One Battle After Another, I have at 5. Sinners, I have at 5 stars. Sorry Baby, Materialist, even the Phoenician Scheme. Like, I love the Phoenician Scheme. That might go up to 5 stars on a rewatch. I have it at 4.5. So let's kind of take a look at our like updated 2025 ranking, right? We have One Battle After Another at number 1, Sinners at number 2, Sorry Baby at 3, Materialist at 4, Phoenician Scheme at 5. And I guess I'll read out the rest of the top 10 and kind of discuss another movie that might creep into the top 10 a little bit that I just watched. We have Highest to Lowest at 6, Preparation for the Next Life at 7, Cloud at 8, Weapons at 9, and Ephus at 10. Now, on the outside looking in is On Becoming a Guinea Fowl. On Becoming a Guinea Fowl is awesome. It's a great movie. It's moving, it's emotional, it's patient. Like, a lot of these movies are pretty patient, right? If we kind of look at Cloud, Preparation for the Next Life, and On Becoming a Guinea Fowl, those are movies that I would deem as patient movies that are taking its time to kind of unveil what's going on or lead to this kind of build up. Now, the most patient movie is probably Preparation for the Next Life, but On Becoming a Guinea Fowl is super patient. But by the time you kind of get to the end of the movie, you feel all of the themes of like generational trauma, sexual abuse. You have what you got different cultures. You got all of these things kind of washing over you by the end, and it's a really special movie. I would highly encourage everyone to go watch it. I mean, it's on HBO Max or Hulu, whatever you have. I mean, I watched it on HBO Max, and I just would highly encourage. Again, it may not be your thing if like you're deeming it a little slow, and of course I wouldn't blame you, but I would just say give it a shot and give it a fair shot, because On Becoming a Guinea Fowl is really, really good. I started to cry a couple of times while watching that movie. But yes, One Battle After Another takes the number 1 spot over Sinners. Is there a movie that's going to come out the rest of the year that may take over One Battle After Another? Maybe. You just never know what's going to resonate with you. In all honesty, like, sentimental value may take the number 1 spot. Who knows? I mean, there's so many movies to come out. Maybe Begonia hits. Maybe. I mean, Kinds of Kindness, Poor Things haven't really hit for me, so I don't know if Begonia is going to hit for me. But you never know. You never know what's going to happen. And then you kind of, maybe you rewatch a movie and you're like, hey, I'm gonna bump this up. Maybe I rewatch Materialist and say, you know what? In my heart of hearts, what's the one movie that I've seen the most from this year and I love? And that would be Materialist. Now, people already get like, I don't know if they get mad or annoyed or whatever their reaction is to have me having Materialist at number 4, whatever that reaction is. Imagine if I were to put it at number one. That would be funny. But yeah, 2025 has been a great year, and you can like one battle after another. You can like Sinners. You can even like different movies. Like you may not even have one battle after another or Sinners in your top spots. Like you may have Materialists. You know, you may have F1. You may have Superman. You may have this movie that no one has seen yet. Like it's all subjective, man. Like at the end of the day. So the 2025 ranking, beautiful stuff. That will continue to be updated. I'm actually recording this before I go see The Smashing Machine and Anemone. And what else am I watching? Good Boy. I don't anticipate Good Boy, or I guess you never know. Maybe Good Boy hits, and I'm like, hey, we have a new number one of 2025. You just never know. All right, let's talk about uh, let's talk about what we're doing for October. Big question that comes up, like, what is your favorite horror movies of all time? I've got like three that come to mind that I feel pretty solid on, and then the others. I mean, I love a lot of horror movies. I remember on one live stream we created the best horror movies of all time list. Let me actually go find that, and then we can kind of talk about it. Um, okay, yeah, we did create a horror movies ranked list, which is pretty funny. Okay, but my number one horror movie, and a horror movie that I'll just save for like a special time this year where I'll be like, all right, it's time to watch like my favorite horror movie. Let's get cozy. Let's watch Scream from 1996, my favorite horror movie of all time. It's such a great like parody on other horror movies, commentary on other horror movies, but it's actually like it actually is scary in moments. It's a great slasher. I think like the sub genre of slasher is my favorite horror subgenre. And Scream is perfect in my opinion. I actually haven't seen all of the Scream movies, so maybe I dedicate this month to watching the entire Scream franchise and kind of do a ranking on those. But right now, it's Scream 1996 as my favorite horror movie of all time. And the other two horror movies that I feel confident about as like my favorites are The Exorcist and It Follows, which you may be thinking like, wow, that's wild to have It Follows up that high, but like genuinely, if we talk about like modern horror movies, I think It Follows is my favorite. And we've got Get Out, we've got Hereditary, we have a lot of great like modern horror movies, but It Follows just hits on a different level for me, man. And I wish I could explore that a little bit more and try to talk about it, but there's just like little choices and It Follows that I really love. And one of those is like one of the best jump scares I believe in a movie ever, where the guy walks through the door. We've got the seashell phone. It's just like something that has stuck with me because, and I know you're thinking like, oh, you're just bringing up like a funny little tidbit about the movie, but it kind of shows like this movie's not interested in offering you a place of time of time or year that it takes place in. Like, why is there a seashell smartphone? Why are there no parents around? Why? I don't understand what year this is supposed to take place in, but the movie doesn't seem interested in that. But it's not like it doesn't take you out of the movie that it doesn't give you that sense of time and place. I really like It Follows for that. It just kind of works for me. Like it just kind of like adds to this sense of like mystery and scare and dread that is kind of happening throughout the movie. It Follows is It Follows is awesome in my opinion. And The Exorcist is like a childhood pick. Watch this like when I was way too young. Kind of just feels evil. You know what I mean? You need a horror movie around this time that just feels evil, and that is the one for me. That The Exorcist. And then we got the horror movies ranked. We did this on a live stream. I'm seeing 3 months ago we did this. Wow, time really flies. But we have 10 horror movies ranked, and at number one we have Scream. At number two, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I watched earlier this year. Can confirm, classic, classic. Everyone go watch that this October. Well, especially if you're doing what is it? Hooptober. Directed by Tobe Hooper. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and there's a challenge that we will discuss. I'll actually look up the rules for that in case anyone is interested in doing it. Um, because I saw a video recently. I was like, oh, that's what Tobe Hooper is, or Hooptober is. My bad. Hooptober. So we'll try to explain the rules on that. All right, but let's go back to the horror movies ranked. We've got Scream at number 1, Texas Chainsaw Massacre at number 2, The Shining at 3, Psycho at 4, The Exorcist at 5, Silence of the Lambs at 6, The Thing at number 7, Hereditary at number 8, and Get Out at number 9. Alien is at number 10. All right, let's see what. Can I actually look it up on Letterboxd? Not my list. That was a group list though that we did. The people knowing what Hooptober is as they listen to this are like, "Oh my god, you should know this. You should know this." Man, I can't find the rules. Oh man, I can't find the rules on here. We'll forget. We'll cut this out. No, we're actually not going to cut this out. This is all one take. Okay. All right. That is my. I don't. I'm not doing it though. I'm not doing Hooptober, and that's because I have commitment issues. I have commitment issues. If I were to participate in a challenge, it now feels like pressure to watch a movie, and when that pressure comes up, I check out. I don't know what it is, but like I just want to watch something at my own pace, watch what I want to watch, and call it a day. Like I don't want to be like, all right, well today I do have to watch this like 40s horror movie, or today I do have to watch this Tobe Hooper movie. Today I have to watch, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to have to be, you know, thinking like mandating what I'm watching. Now, on the flip side, that gives people a purpose to watch these movies. So I'm not mad at that. If they have a purpose, if they have motivation to watch more horror movies, kind of step outside of the box, step outside of their comfort zone. It's always amazing to do these challenges. And it's just kind of fun. It is fun at the end of the day, just how I am, how I operate, how my brain works. I'm like, oh man, now it feels like a chore. Now it feels like work. And I want to watch what I want to watch. But I'm very much in like this horror movie mood because I just watched 3 horror movies yesterday, and I watched They Live by John Carpenter. I watched Funny Games, and I watched Michael Haneke, I believe, on Funny Games, and then Interview with the Vampire. Don't know why I watched it. I think I was just like, hey, Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt, let's fire this up. But yeah, I watched those 3 movies, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch another one today after like the 3 movies. I mean, I guess Good Boys horror, so we got something there. But we watched They Live, which is directed by John Carpenter from 1988. If you haven't seen this movie, I would recommend it. There is this thing where I just watched Christine by John Carpenter and They Live. Now, I'm not too familiar with John Carpenter, I guess, because I watched Christine and They Live, and I was like, man, these are a little bit like slower than I thought they would be. There's a lot of time invested in the world and the setup, and sometimes that's great. Sometimes that's amazing. But other times I'm like, here's the mic. Other times I'm just like, wow, this is taking a little too long. There's like a couple of lulls happening in the movie that I'm like, can we get to the stuff that we want to see? And that could be because the concepts that They Live and Christine have are so great that we kind of want to like really get to it. You know what I mean? Like we want to get to They Live when he has the sunglasses and he sees the world for what it is and what the world is trying to say to people, to conform, to obey. They Live is a movie about capitalism, social class, consumerism, and it is wrapped up in a pretty fun horror slash sci-fi movie, but you kind of want to get to that point where he's got the glasses and he's seeing everything and he's trying to figure everything out. And then in Christine, we got the story about a guy who just like loves his car and develops like this romantic relationship with his car. And there's like a lot of setup in it. And then we finally get to the stuff with the car, and there's a couple of lulls. It's almost a 2-hour movie, Christine. And I didn't expect it to be almost 2 hours, and you kind of feel the runtime at times. And honestly, the other movie, so we got Okay, I do want to talk about Funny Games. So Funny Games 1997. I know there is another like there's an American version of it from 2007, I believe, and it's pretty much a shot for shot remake. But I wanted to watch the 1997 Funny Games, and let me just confirm that is Michael Haneke, right? Yes, it is. Okay. This movie, honestly, it is this like violent movie, but it doesn't glorify the violence. It does some things off screen. It's more of a satire on how Hollywood movies glorify this type of violence and how kind of just like normalized I guess it's become to see these acts happen on the screen. This movie is unsettling. This movie is uncomfortable, but that's what it's trying to do. So in terms of like, sometimes you rate movies, sometimes you think of movies like, is it successful in what it's setting out to accomplish, and is it in good taste? Funny Games, in my opinion, is in good taste because of the satire that it is presenting and kind of how it makes the viewer think about how the violent acts are consumed, because this movie is breaking the fourth wall a couple of times. So this movie does accomplish what it sets out to do. It is unsettling, it is uncomfortable, it is, a satire on other Hollywood movies that depicted this kind of violence that you see in Funny Games. So it accomplishes what it wants to do. I gave it a 4.5 on Letterboxd. And then I don't know how to talk about this movie, to be honest. I watched Interview with the Vampire. I was just scrolling on HBO Max. What can I watch? This is from 1994. It's got Tom Cruise. It's got Brad Pitt, Christian Slater, Antonio Banderas, Kirsten Dunst. This is about a vampire relates his epic life story of love, betrayal, loneliness, and dark hunger to an overcurious reporter. And now yes. So I was like, oh, a reporter, and then in the description on HBO Max they said journalist. And I was like, okay, nice, yeah. Let me watch this because I love journalism. Turns out I didn't know. I should have guessed that it was only used to be like setting up an entire story, and there's not much journalism happening in the movie, if any. I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. What a interesting movie. It is great that it got made. I don't want to actually say too much. I think you should watch it if you haven't seen it. Yeah, it's awesome. But I guess the rest of the plan for this month is to just watch as many horror movies as I can, maybe do the Scream franchise. And yeah, I mean, we watched They Live, Funny Games, and Interview with the Vampire. I also heard, what is that movie directed by Michael Haneke that people were telling me about? And you don't know what I'm talking about right now. Benny's Video. Very interested in this because people are saying this is more unsettling and disturbing than Funny Games is. Uh, Maybe I'll have to give that one a go because I don't know. I don't know. All right, so that's what we got. I mean, we just we've talked about our 2025 updated ranking. We have talked about where we're at in our horror movie journey, what we're doing for spooky season, and honestly, I'm trying to think of what else we really want to talk about here because um I got nothing else, man. Like, I haven't been doing the Q&As. I haven't been doing the podcast. I do want to say thank you for 5,000 followers on TikTok, even though it's not a real 5,000. And I'll explain what I mean. We were doing a live stream and someone had mentioned in a comment that, because I was like, hey, let's try to get to 5,000 because I think it's a cool number to get to. And of course, I want to grow. I want the community to grow. So I was like, oh, 5,000 would be cool. Someone commented 500 followers is $25. And I didn't even know you could buy followers for someone else. And I legit think the person who commented that actually did it. And they bought me 500 followers on TikTok. So that 5,000 number you see is not real. I kind of look at it and I'm like more at like 4960 or something like that. That's kind of how I look at it. So 40 more followers until we're actually at 5,000. Now I appreciate that person. Obviously they spent real money to do that, and we are at the number, but I honestly care more about just talking movies with like real people on the internet and connecting with people, and just want to grow organically. I don't want to fake any of the numbers. So I do appreciate it, and no, that wasn't me. That was so funny in the live stream that we did. People were saying that I did it, but nah, I would never spend money on followers, man. I would never do that. Um, I mean, again, I appreciate the person who actually spent real money on that. So yeah, I really appreciate it. I wish the podcast was longer. But it's really all I got. I'm looking forward to Smashing Machine. I'm looking forward to Anemone. I'm looking forward to Anemone. Daniel Day Lewis's return. What did I say? Good Boy, Smashing Machine. Look, the vlogs have been special. The vlogs have been really fun, and we'll see what we do for this one. Thank you for listening. By the way, I really appreciate it. Sorry this was a bit of a shorter episode, but I did want to get like a podcast out there to just talk with y'all and give y'all something to listen to. Maybe I don't know how people listen to this or if they actually do, but I really appreciate y'all, like, genuinely. Oh, I guess like maybe one episode we can kind of go through the shelves that we put up. Yeah, we could go through the shelves like in probably one episode and kind of pull out our favorites pieces of physical media. Obviously, like the Center Steelbook is special to me. The Before trilogy right there is special. I guess I'll just pull something out right now. I mean, I love the Before trilogy. I love it. Because this is like, you can't stream these. You got to buy it, and why not buy it and own it forever, which is special. So yes, excited. I watched this earlier this year. It was one of my movie goals. It was one of my movie goals. One of my movie goals this year was to watch the Before trilogy because I knew how special it was. Um, and I did it. I loved it. It's a beautiful trilogy, and I guess, yeah. Also, just want to leave on this note. Maybe I mentioned it at the beginning. I'm kind of losing track of what I'm saying, but I did mention I hit the 400 movie milestone on Letterboxd. Maybe I did, or maybe it's because I just filmed the video for TikTok. But guys, it's not about the numbers. It's not about the numbers. Don't gamify your movie watching. Just watch what you can. If you only watch 3 movies in a month, maybe you take the month off. It's okay. Everyone has a different movie journey. Where I'm at right now is just I'm really focusing on, talking about movies on the internet. It's just something I want to do. It's just because I want to provide a space for other people to talk about movies on the internet. Like my friends and family, not super into movies. So it's kind of like we can talk about movies, but not as in depth as we do on here, right? Not as in depth as we do on TikTok. So it's really nice to have a community to talk movies with, and so yeah, you may see that 400 number, and I do look at the numbers as like, oh, I hit 400, that's nice, but it's not. I don't have an end goal for this year. I'm not like I gotta hit 500 by the end of the year, and I'm gonna start watching movies just to get to the 500 number. If I don't get to 500 by the end of the year, I'm okay. Like the entire goal was to get better at talking about movies, and I think the more you read about the more you read about movies, the more you read film criticism, the more you watch movies, you just understand it a little bit more and understand how to talk about it, have the vocabulary to talk about movies, and just, develop your own style, your own voice in talking about movies as well. So that's what I wanted to do. But if you see other people who are like, wow, I wish I wish I watched as many movies as them. It's not really about that. It's not really about getting to certain numbers and, right, like we said, gamifying your movie watching. So yeah, but I am like proud that I did set out a goal to watch more movies than I did last year, and we hit that. We watched like 160 movies last year. Now we're at 400. Sometimes there's movies I haven't even logged, like Columbus, Mallrats, the Get Out director commentary I didn't log. Like there's just sometimes I just put on a movie, I watch it, and I just don't log it. I don't know why, but those are like 3 examples that I can think of right now where I just watched the movie, and that was it. All right, so really appreciate it. maybe we'll play some like Senator Nerdle on one of these podcasts. Maybe I can like figure that out so y'all can watch me fail miserably. I don't know. You got to let me know if you made it this far into the podcast and if that's something you would want. But yeah, that's it. You can like more than one movie at a time. I'm excited to see what everyone watches for the Halloween spooky season, and just watch what you can. Don't worry about the numbers. I appreciate y'all. Remember to drink water, watch movies, and get 8 hours of sleep. Please take care of yourselves. And yeah, you're all beautiful and amazing. I really appreciate y'all. All right. Bye.